Hi Jess.
Hi, how are you doing?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me today. So basically, how are you? How are you coping with lockdown?
I'm actually doing okay until recently before the lockdown. I'd worked from home anyway, so it was relatively normal for me. But I just got an office in Norwich City Centre. Um, so yeah, I'm missing being there, obviously. But otherwise, things don't feel much like they've changed for me. Can't go to the gym. I can't go to hikes. I've had some travel cancelled, but otherwise. Um, I'm doing okay. I think I kind of thrive in this environment when I'm allowed to kind of just do stuff on my own. It's been quite nice just to get my head down and do stuff without having to go out to meetings or through my motorsport work, going to racetracks, a couple of times a week. So I've been super productive and that always makes me feel good.
Oh, that's great. Well, speaking of, for the good eggs who haven't had the pleasure of meeting you at one of our events, can you introduce yourself quickly in terms of who you are and what do you do?
Yeah, of course. So I've started calling myself a Jess of all trades because I have a few kind of projects that I work on. So I'm mostly known as a journalist and content creator slash strategist, mostly within automotive and business. But I also work in motorsport and I have a brand called Racing Mentor, which is kind of designed as a business consultancy within that space. But I also teach racing drivers the skills needed to secure sponsorship. So all about kind of building their brand and that kind of thing. I've just launched something to help freelancers as well, because I realized that I found success as a freelancer. Built a career as a freelance journalist and then diversified. And so I've created something that will kind of teach freelancers to do that as well, very much in its infancy, but I kind of wanted to give back and, teach people the things that it took me, 10, 15 years to learn.
That sounds amazing. Your work must take you to some really interesting places, I assume. Um, Racetracks galore. What type of racing are you involved in? Is it across the breadth, or is it more motorbikes, or?
No, it's quite varied. It's usually four wheels. I started my career in Formula One as a journalist, so I got to go to some amazing races with all of the excitement and luxury that you'd expect from like the top level. But my passion is with kind of like sports cars, so rather than the single seater like Formula One. So I go to a lot of club races up to kind of national and international professional level. So it's really, really broad. But you'll usually find me at racetracks where my friends are. So they're
Okay.
usually in the UK. Um, but I often do get out to, international circuits as well to do workshops and meet new people, which I absolutely love. But
Hmm.
obviously I haven't had the chance to do that yet this year.
That's amazing. Well, so one of the questions I've been asking through this little mini series is everyone's been talking about bookshelves.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of us have a bookshelf behind us, which seems to be quite a female thing. I think the bookshelf, for some reason, seems to be a very male-dominated area when it comes to the media, anyhow. But if there was a bookshelf behind you, what would be the type of what are you reading at the moment, or what are the books that have sort of shaped you?
So I tend to read a lot of kind of self-development business type books, and there are a few that I always recommend to people. So the first is You're a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero, I think is her name off the top of my head. All about money mindset, and I think that's such an overlooked part of making money. Um, the other is the 4 Hour Workweek, which most people might have heard of, by Tim Ferriss, which is all about kind of streamlining your business and automating things. And then the other that I always recommend, and more recently, is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, which is all about how you can create a routine in the morning. So get up an hour or half an hour earlier and do things like meditate, affirmations, do some reading, do some writing, exercise. Changed my life. So like even before I got the office, I was kind of like bumbling through, doing okay with work, but I was never growing. And I really had to have firstly a money mindset shift, But I had to do something with my routine to make sure I was in that right mindset every day. And I went from like comfortable to let's get an office and hire some people in about 3 months.
Wow.
So, and then coronavirus hit and kind of scuppered all my plans. But so yeah, they're the three that I always recommend. I've got lots of similar themed books, but I'm a big fiction reader as well. I love sci-fi, I love horror, anything a bit fantasy or just a bit overly emotional that will make me feel something.
Yeah.
But I've been writing fiction, so I haven't been reading it, and I for some reason can't do both at the same time. So I'm probably about halfway through 3 different fiction books at the moment.
Well, yeah, I remember you mentioning that you've written a few books now, if I remember correctly.
I've written 2 non-fiction books.
2 non-fiction books.
With me.
Hey.
It's always here in my kitchen because this is where I do my coaching for racing drivers from. So it's the ultimate guide to motorsport sponsorship. So it kind of serves my racing audience. I also wrote a guide to Norfolk as well for a big publisher that does guides for all over the country.
Yeah. Now, I do appreciate you come from a writing background, but writing as a journalist versus writing a book must be a very different experience. How did you decide that A, you were going to go and do this, and B, how did you approach it? How was the experience for you of writing a book?
Oh, I loved it. And I think because I honed my voice as a blogger, I was always very, very much used to writing stuff for an audience. Whereas when you're writing journalism, you're more telling a story. It's not always from your point of view. So because I did blogging before I got into journalism, I was used to writing in first person and getting my personality across.
Yeah.
And I was doing a lot of that kind of content to promote, excuse me, my racing business. And I just kind of pulled it all together, wrote some extra sections and just turned it into a book. So it was actually really easy. And the whole process from, right, I'm going to write a book to publishing was probably less than 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm really quick. I know I'm really quick, but that still to me is quite baffling. And it's honestly been the most exciting experience ever. Like getting that first box of books was just mind blowing. So I don't really feel like there was a massive struggle to go from journalist to author, because I'd already kind of honed that in like the content marketing side of what I was doing. But it was nerve-wracking at the same time though, because writing a book, I had all these imposter syndrome feelings, like, am I really the expert? Should I really be writing a book on this? And I thought, just do it. Like the information needs to be out there and it needs to be easily accessible for these people.
Yeah, absolutely. It must be such an exciting feeling when you get that first book and you see your name on it and you're like, yeah.
I've still got my proof copy. So like the first copy they sent to me so I could like check it all. And I've had to put it away like somewhere safe because I carted it around everywhere with me. I was like, oh, did you know I've written the book? Everywhere I went for months before I kind of got bored of it. But even now, like I'll say it on a shelf, or when I'm allowed, if I go to like my parents' houses or my friends' houses, it's always there. Yeah. I love that.
That's amazing. So where are you at the moment in terms of COVID? And you said earlier sort of impacted your plans a bit. How I guess how are you feeling about it and how are you shifting stuff? Are you shifting stuff around? Are you pivoting or are you sticking with the plans you had before? Or?
Well, so my plans have kind of been put on hold. The person that I was thinking of employing, she's been furloughed by her previous company, so she's doing little bits and pieces for me as she was before, but we can't kind of formalize that because I need her in the office with me. But I'm very positive, like I don't let these things get to me. I feel like, okay, that's fine. There's just more time to build, more time to kind of work on the things that we would have been like rushing and hustling for when we, first started in the office together. So like, I'm reviving. So all of my brands come under my Jet Social brand, which is the marketing agency I started 12 years ago and then kind of wound down. But because I'm bringing people on, I need a kind of an agency style umbrella. So I've been doing the website for that to kind of revive it as a content agency. I've been able to kind of work on this project where I can support freelancers, and I launched a course on money mindset. And I've just been kind of doing all of that background stuff. And although I've lost quite a lot of work with people putting stuff on hold, I've still got enough that kind of gets me by and allows me to do like this other nice to have, you know, like platform building kind of things that will eventually lead to income and you know, a wider brand in the future as well.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I'm so glad that you're able to cope with things going on, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think most of our members sadly do fall through that gap, because furloughing yourself is one thing, and practicalities involved with that, and the rules that are involved with that. But also, you know, I'm a company director, and I don't necessarily pay myself in PAYE 100%. So you're suddenly, and you know, I'm not quite happy with the way it's being branded as tax dodging, because we do still pay corporate tax, which is much the same thing. So
really there. And I you know, I feel for a lot of the company directors who can't, you know, use their dividends as part of their income. And I'd be much in the same boat, but thankfully I've got enough still kind of going on that I don't need to do that.
Yeah, no, amazing. I have read yesterday or the day before in a chamber email saying that there were some other business grants coming our way, which were more on so you apply for it through the council, and it's more on a case by case. So yeah, so it won't be like earth-shattering amounts, but it might just help you to actually pay yourself or whatever else it is.
Well, because I've got premises, I think I'm eligible for a grant. But haven't heard anything yet. Apparently we're supposed to just wait to hear from the council. So I'm kind of fingers crossed that comes through, because it gives me a bit of freedom to say, right, I'm going to invest in this thing that I need, this service, and hopefully I can pass that on to other like freelancers and people to kind of keep money moving. Because at the moment, normally I spend loads with freelancers, but I've had to kind of sit on what money I do have, because I'm still paying for this silly office. And I need to just make sure I can keep doing that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't know, well, I can answer your question because we have someone in the house that works for the council. Do you pay business rates?
I would, but obviously I'm under the threshold to pay them.
Okay. I'd give them a ring, because they are only contacting people who automatically are in that business rate.
So I've sent in an application.
Oh, good. So
and my landlords at the office are chasing everything. So I think I'm known. I think it's just a case of waiting now.
Amazing. Oh, good. You're on it. So that's all great. Anyhow, let's get to the fun bit of this.
Okay.
I have my jar of random questions.
Cool.
I genuinely can't quite remember what's in here, because this is an event like 2 years ago. So let's pick one. So, right. Taking circumstances into consideration, this might be a bit of a weird one, but what is something that is really popular now, but in 5 years everyone will look back and be embarrassed by?
TikTok dances.
Yes, very true.
I'm obsessed with TikTok dances. I haven't posted anything yet, but I think we're all going to look back on that and be like, why, we're all dancing on TikTok.
That's brilliant. I still don't have TikTok, because I know it would just all around consume me and I wouldn't get anything done. But I have seen my friends share their videos on Facebook and stuff, and I'm like, what on earth is this?
Yeah, I don't think me dancing on TikTok is very in line with my brand. And all the people that follow me on there, not that I've posted anything yet, they're all racing drivers, and I don't think I'm cool enough to do a dance in front of all my really cool racing driver friends.
You might have to do something like with a racing driver theme or something.
Yeah, I've had quite a few people create TikToks around my brand and the book. I basically said to anyone, like, you know, if you have an idea and you want to make it for TikTok, I'll pay you.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of really cool TikToks out there with my book, but yeah, I just want to, I might make a secret one and just do all the dances.
Amazing. Right, we'll pick a second one. What movie would be greatly improved if it was made into a musical?
Every movie ever.
Ah, yes!
Hang on, no, let me think seriously about this. Die Hard.
Die Hard. Oh my God,
Can
yeah.
you imagine? That'd be so good.
I'm so glad you said that earlier, because with musicals, you either hate or love them. I love them. So I was sort of reading it out going, oh, what is Jess going to say?
No, just, yeah. I can't think of a movie that wouldn't be better as a musical.
Yeah, that's true. Have you met Kate yet?
I think I met her years ago.
Okay, so my lovely sidekick, Kate, I shouldn't really call her that because, well, no, she will be my sidekick because she's my maid of honour, so that's all right. But she basically hates musicals, and we used to share a, yeah, she just cannot, like, no, it's just not, she's like, every time I start whistling something next to her, she's like, no, stop it, no. And we used to share an office together. And there's this musical, The Rotten Tomatoes. Don't know. It's basically based. It's really funny. It's really good. I'd recommend it. It's basically based. It takes the piss out of Shakespeare.
Cool.
Yeah, and there's a song called "It's a Musical," and it's one of those proper one of these.
Yeah.
And I just always have this vision, and I never did it because I didn't have the balls to do it. Of just come into the room of our office and have this song on loud and dance around Kate. But she'd probably kill me if I'd ever do anything like it. So
make a great TikTok.
Yeah, that would make a great TikTok, absolutely. Right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Jess.
Thank you.
Lovely to have a little catch up. It's so lovely to see your face as well. And then
Barbara.
Yeah, and hopefully fairly soon, maybe in the autumn, who knows, I can actually give you a hug and we can see us at each other properly again.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you so much, and you take care of yourself.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. There you go. I'll cut there. Thank you so much. That's great.
No worries. That's really fun.
Yeah, it's just about having these tiny little videos and clips.
Yeah.
So people can delve in, and there's no pressure of it being another webinar or another, you know, just, yeah, and to put faces to names as well, because I'm very aware that not everyone has had the opportunity to meet everyone.
Yeah, because like the only event I've actually been to was the Christmas event. I missed the innovation one, and then pandemic.
Yeah, well, I did pull the plug in it a bit as well beforehand, because otherwise I think we might have squeezed one more in. Well, no, actually, I don't think we would have. It probably would have clashed with lockdown. So yeah, but same as you, I've been using this time to rebuild new routines. And I'm still not up to full time, but I'm sort of doing half days, which is a huge improvement. Because I've been able to do it consistently over 5 days, not like the odd day and then crash again. So nice. I find it quite an interesting time, actually.
I think it's everyone is kind of learning so much about themselves. Obviously, some people, you know, are more positive and deal with it better than others. But everyone that I've spoken to, I've said, "Have you at least learned something about yourself?" And they're like, "Oh yeah." So I think, you know, it's just one of those things of human development. We have to kind of just adapt and move on and just deal with it. But I really, really want to go to a racetrack.
Yeah, I really want a pub.
Oh yeah.
Or like live music, like something. So yeah. And
we're near the Fat Cat Tap, and they do takeaway beer.
Oh yeah.
So once a week we've been trotting down there, grabbing like a load of beer and coming back home, sitting in the garden and drinking beer. So it hasn't been so bad, but yeah, want a beer garden, racetrack. Yeah,
we ordered around, I think, nearly 40 quid's worth of Woodfords, because they normally have a fire engine truck at the football ground.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a friend of mine's, his business. So yeah, he delivered like 2 cases. I was like, yay.
Nice.
That's good. Right, anyhow, I'll leave you be. Have a good meeting later on as well.
Yeah, well, thank you.
And we'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, speak soon. Bye-bye.